We play and call it work.
Hey there, Wargamers. Welcome to this week's Sit and Talk. Myself and Lee will be doing our best to answer your various questions you've left on the videos. So we're going to jump right into this in just a second. Remember next week, guys, that it is Quirk who will be answering questions for you. So any questions you have, leave in this video, not the vault video, and just make sure you address it to Quirk. Now, just to clarify a couple things, I know I've been bugging him about his name and blah, having fun. Actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and use the proper spelling of his name this time. So if you want to ask him any questions, his last name's Quark. Few people know this, but it's Q-U-A-R-K. He's
an awful person.
What? Well, I mean, they're not going to be able to track him down with that. But yeah, it's actually not an I, it's an A. So leave a question for MiniWarGaming Quark here in the comment section. And yeah, that's all I got. We're going to jump right into the questions here.
You just don't like having friends.
No, they're overrated.
Yeah, they are.
So we're going to try this a little bit different. I'm going to use the iPad. That way I don't have to continually drop papers and make mistakes and stuff. So we have first Gimpnax. Yeah? Gimpnax. Josh and Lee. If the two of you decide to team up and fight crime, who says we don't already go and fight crime? Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
Which one of you would be the hero and which one would be the sidekick? Why would there have to be a hero and a sidekick?
Superhero team up?
Yeah. This is like the Avengers or something like that. I don't know, Avengers or Justice League?
I don't know. I've been thinking about the question.
Yeah, did you just give them ahead of time?
Yeah, I like that question. I was thinking more like anti-hero villain team up. I was thinking like Punisher and Venom.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, probably more along those lines. Yeah, I couldn't see one being the hero and being the sidekick.
Goody heroes.
No, they're all boring.
Yeah.
Really boring. So yeah, it would definitely be a because it's not a real thing. It'd be an equal partnership.
I mean, we could
always for fighting crime.
Could always go with Painting Man and Assembly Boy.
Why is it Assembly? Why isn't it Assembly Man and Painting Boy?
No.
See, this is why we couldn't do it. Okay? We're already fighting about this hypothetical thing that doesn't exist.
Supposedly. Well,
Supposedly.
I have the Batcave. Do you?
No.
No.
I got an invisible plane, an invisible jet.
Well, can't prove you wrong.
Exactly.
Crap.
Okay, next we got Warner Brothers Freak 54, because I assume that's what WB stands for.
It doesn't.
Nope. Nope, it is.
Okay.
I've decided it.
It doesn't. I know.
Lee, with the new edition coming out, how many of the new models are you going to have to paint to get on the field quickly? Also, when the new stuff comes out, is there a huge rush to get the new stuff out? How do you handle it? Chris always talks about painting what he feels like, but you seem to always have to paint what you are told to. Does it take a toll? This is all you, big guy.
So I'm going to go with all of them yesterday and yes. No, it really doesn't. To me, it's a job. I mean, I know I love doing it, but it's a job. And I get stuff on my desk all the time, and it's just like, get this done. I'm like, yes, sir. Get it done.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, like, Chris has, I think, less direction on what he's going to get done, but he's doing the videos. Yeah. Like, he's painting to produce videos. He's not... Like
yeah,
Chris
he's painting by request.
Right. Like, Chris doesn't paint any studio stuff for us to use, ever, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he ever...
Well, the occasional, like, model, but I've usually painted it, like, 2 weeks earlier anyway, so...
Right, yeah, well, he'll paint that stuff, but it's usually... It's not even always complete paint jobs. It's just he paints to do the painting tutorials while Lee is painting the stuff so we can actually go ahead and use it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff I have to paint. I mean, you've probably seen already some of the stuff from the 40K 8th edition box.
Yeah, by this point, you've probably seen...
Yeah, I got all that, the whole box done in, what, 3-4 days?
Something like that, yeah.
With help from Colin and Luca.
Yep.
But, yeah, to me, it's just a job, and I just do it, get it done. Sometimes it's hard to keep motivated, but, yeah, do what you got to do.
Makes sense. Is there ever anything like... Do you ever watch the releases ahead of time and go like, I don't want to paint that when it finally shows up? What's the latest thing that you looked at and you're just like, no?
I think it's actually the Poxwalkers, because I know they're like
Okay.
they're amazing models.
Tons of detail, yeah.
Yeah, they're so much fun, but that's also the drawback, because I know Dave's gonna want a lot of them because of how they work. But they're amazing, and I don't feel like doing 100 of them, but I probably have to.
Yeah, I get that. All right, let's jump down next. Bill Drat, Josh and Lee. My employer is making me travel to Canada for training. You should want to travel to Canada for training.
Training in what?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. What do you do that you have to come up to Canada to get trained on? Being awesome?
Is the training like I'm training to learn how to travel to Canada? I don't know.
Do I have to take any special precautions to avoid being eaten by a moose? Have either of you been to Calgary before? Okay, so we're going to talk about Calgary real first. I have not been out there. Have you?
Never been.
No. That's one thing. Okay, so talking to a lot of the American guests that come in, they talk about, I grew up in this state, but now I live in this state,
Yeah.
but I go to school in this state. Like, people jump around all over the
Yeah.
place. In Canada, I don't know, maybe there's less stuff in between, I guess.
There's nothing in between.
You don't go
wilderness and woods.
Yeah, a lot of times, like people travel out of province all the time, but it's not as regular of an occasion as it seems to be down in the U.S.
No. I'm not even sure where Calgary is. I can't picture it on a map.
It's I think it's that way.
West?
Yeah, not east. Did I point the right way?
Yeah.
Sweet.
West.
Yep.
Because that's north.
Yeah, you got to go because you can either go out west or down east.
But then again, like considering where we are, most everything is west.
Except for down east. It's what they say, Lee. You go down east, but up north.
I know.
Nobody wants to go south.
Ever.
No. All right.
That's
I don't know what
Trump
the Northerners say. I don't know what Northern Ontario people say when they're coming down to this portion of the province. It might be going. I don't
They
know.
probably say, I can't believe I'm actually going there.
Maybe. Do you have any special precautions to avoid being eaten by a moose? No. Okay. So people make fun of it for Canada and all that, but I mean, if you're going to somewhere that's fairly well populated like this, like I don't see more than 2 or 3 moose a day here in Welland, like at most.
Whoa, what? What?
No,
I
dude.
was going to try to say something really funny.
I had nothing. You know what? The last time I saw a moose, it was at a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was giant, though. I've seen moose in the wild before, but not, like, super often. Usually it's kind of just a fleeting glance.
Yeah.
Or you hear them and don't necessarily see them.
It's kind of like Bigfoot. You know it's
Yeah.
there, but you never see it.
Yeah, except we're not worried about Bigfoot kicking you in the face. No, moose aren't the issue. I don't know what is the issue here in Canada. It's the geese, actually. The Canadian geese. That's what you got to watch out for.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
They're jerks. Get really good at kicking angry birds in the face, I guess.
Yeah.
Things
So
are
try doing it on your bike. It's
terrible.
amazing.
No, geese are probably the thing you got to watch out for when you come to Canada because they just they poop everywhere. They bite people.
They're not afraid of anything.
They'll chase you.
Yep.
They're jerks. Big old jerks. What's the next guy's name? Boucheron de Lorraine?
Okay.
Gonna call you Smith. Yeah, I don't know how to break that up. Crimson Fist guy. Because that's what your little picture is there.
The avatar.
Hi, Josh and Lee. Hello.
Hey,
How are you? I'm well.
I'm good. Next question.
Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to go Lee. Congrats on your painting assembling job. You are the man.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You do some cool work.
Or ma'am, I guess.
Whoever you be. Josh, where do you find inspiration for the stories and narrative campaigns? How do you pick factions and characters? Okay. So out of the ones I've done so far, a lot of the direction that I'm being given is coming from Matthew as far as factions and characters that he wants in there. Sometimes there's more guidance than others. Like usually I have some free reign, but there might have to be this type of character or that type of character. There might have to be a farseer. But then I'm allowed to kind of develop the farseer out. So a lot of the inspirations.
And then Quirk gets him killed.
Yeah. Like immediately.
so funny.
With a lot of them, I mean, like I've read a bunch of the lore, and I know, I mean, because people are all over the place, but it's a big galaxy, and a lot of different stuff can happen. A lot of this stuff is being driven by what the guys are interested in playing with.
Yeah.
You know, we're experimenting around with trying to continue some storylines for some of the existing narrative stuff. So, I mean, I'm trying to draw some inspiration there. A lot of my stuff comes from historical, though. Like, if you guys heard me talk enough, like, I'm not a huge history buff, but that's what drew me into this game. And I've talked to most of the people here, and it seems to be the exact opposite. So I'm like one of the guys that was interested in historical warfare kind of stuff, and that drew me into these games. While most of the other guys that work here were interested in kind of the fantasy sci-fi stuff, and they got drawn into a war game. So it's kind of, I don't know, what side are you on for that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've never been much of a history buff.
Okay, yep.
Later in life, I actually got interested in it. But, I mean, it was Bolt Thrower that drew me into the game. So,
was it? Listening to Bolt Thrower got you into?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The Realm of Chaos cover. I was like, ooh, these guys are amazing.
Looks cool.
And I saw like a picture of models and
so I didn't realize that was a connection.
Yeah.
Because I
like, ooh, that's
40K got me into Bolt Thrower.
Yeah,
the other way
yeah,
around.
that's the other way around for me. So
okay, cool.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of the inspirations are coming from what we currently need. So Matthew gets really super excited about a lot of different stuff. But I mean, Matthew, I don't know, like he's a super creative, smart guy. But as much as he enjoys crafting stories, I think he gets kind of bored of it sometimes. And if you have somebody else placing limitations on what you can do, because if you're crafting a story and you can do whatever you want, then you kind of just, sometimes you lose interest on it. So on the other hand, though, when I can craft a story and Matthew's crafting scenarios or sub-stories to fit into that, that can get the creative juices flowing a lot more.
Yeah.
So usually, yeah, it's kind of just whatever we want to use. Sometimes we got to change stuff mid-campaign. Sometimes, you know, I've written stories up before where last minute we have to change it all for whatever reason.
Yep.
So, yeah, I take inspiration from real-world stuff where I can, and I try to throw little nuggets of that in every once in a while. And some people pick up on it and other ones don't.
Yeah.
So I'm always entertained when I get the emails, and people are like, I see what you did there. I see why that character's named that.
Yeah.
That minor character that doesn't do anything. So I try to do that stuff. But yeah, a lot of the inspiration comes from real world
I've
stuff.
noticed, like, when you're writing stuff, you like to throw in, I mean, there might be, like, an obscure mention of something in the fluff somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the lore if I can find something interesting and do throwback stuff,
like,
too.
using the enslavers in that one campaign. I mean, I haven't seen them used in anything ever.
Yeah, and forever, and you haven't heard them mentioned. And it was cool because, I mean, Steve, I know we're getting off topic here, but I remember as the story developed, Steve started to get more and more interested in it. And he spent like one whole day trying to figure out what it was that was going to get revealed that ended up being the enslavers. Yeah. And like every 10 minutes he would run in, like burst into whatever room we were in.
I know it's this and that.
It's this, it's going to be this. And he'd give us all these kind of things. And eventually, like originally we were just kind of stone-faced. And we're like,
maybe.
It might be that. And then it got to the point where we're just like, no, that's not it. Like, keep trying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, try to draw from different parts of the lore and try to draw from some real-world stuff. I know Matt gets inspired by a lot of the real-world, like, TV shows or movies he's watching. Yeah. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. Yeah. I don't watch TV. I haven't had a TV hooked up for probably about 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't sat down and watched TV. Like, once in a blue moon, and this is maybe once every 2 months, I'll, like, stream a TV show, maybe. But yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't really watch movies that often.
I don't even own one.
So. The TV? Yeah. My big screen TV is just my computer monitor now. Because I never really kind of got into it. So, yeah, inspirations from everywhere. And it could be what other people are currently interested in or, you know, cool new models, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So all over the place. But, yeah, a lot of it's based in historical stuff I've read and trying to take certain core concepts and spin it into the 40K universe.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of their stuff is based on, like,
a lot
mythology
of their stuff,
and history and stuff.
A lot of the 40K stuff is based upon, various religions or mythologies and all that. So it fits. Oh. Big Mikey. I know why I say your name like that, because you're Big Mikey.
You always do.
Yeah,
Is it because
Josh-
he sounds like he's from Boston?
I don't know. Where you from, Big Mikey? Shoot me an
Hey,
email.
Big Mikey.
I say that all the time, actually, and more people are starting to take me up on them and just send me emails, and they're surprised when I reply back. I'm like, yeah, like if I tell you to shoot me an email, it's josh@miniwargaming.com. I will reply back. It might not be that day.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on when I have time to sit down and answer emails. But yeah, I like chatting with people. So hey guys, hope your day is going well. It is going well. Oh jeez. Okay, so here we go. Sure, you've been asked this 100 times, but can we hear your thoughts on 8th so far in terms of gameplay and possible fluff? Okay, so we're going to do these one at a time because you get multiple questions, and that's the easiest way to do this. As far as gameplay, okay, so I've only at this point had the chance to play two games of 8th. But I've been trying to do a lot of reading and paying attention to the other guys' battle reports. Because we only have so many studios to film in, and it kind of just makes sense. So I don't mind doing some of the more behind-the-scenes organizing stuff. I'm really liking the way it's playing. It is not necessarily the rule set, but the kind of feeling of the game is somewhat reminiscent of 3rd edition. In the sense that they took a game, like you look at 2nd, that was a cool game a lot of people liked, but was overly complex, not friendly for beginners. And even the veterans, a lot of them were getting kind of worn out. Just, I
remember that.
I've been playing this for 4 years, and I still got to look up how to do this stuff because it's weird. And then 3rd came out, and everything was a lot more simplified and streamlined, which kind of led to more playing for fun. And for me, I've always been a player of just playing for fun. Like I play to win, but you know, I'm not here to be super competitive because it's so difficult to gauge opponents of what skill level they're at, and it can just get to be kind of no fun. So keeping up with the current meta and all that, I'm not interested with this game particularly. Like I'll still, use the good stuff. But yeah, certain lists
but
were
it doesn't
kind of
really have a meta yet.
Well, it doesn't. Well, I mean, like I'm talking about like 40K as a whole, like not just 8th edition. I'm talking about like all of 40K.
Yeah.
So I like the gameplay so far. You haven't played yet, have you?
No.
What do you think about the rules that you've seen so far, though?
I like them. I think it's about time they just streamlined everything. We talked about this before. And
I recall us saying that we were really hoping they were going to do this.
yeah, I think someone actually has a question about that. Right?
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, so far I've only seen one rule I don't like.
Okay, which one is it?
Vehicles charging.
Yeah, the vehicles charging kind of thing is weird. I'm curious. I don't want to pass judgment on it too early. Right now, it feels a little bit off. The idea that you can charge vehicles into engage units and the flying vehicles that can then disengage from combat and still shoot. Something doesn't feel right there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the whole, like, charge a rhino into a pred or whatever.
Well, yeah.
And just like, okay, he's nerfed.
Yeah, because you can't shoot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about that to be able to, stop. Oh, look, there's your Land Raider. I don't want it to shoot, so I'm going to charge it with my Rhino.
Yeah.
Now it's engaged, and if you move out of being engaged,
you can't shoot.
You can't shoot.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel right with that, but maybe, bigger games,
I mean,
we're going to see that.
I get they have, like, an attack stat and all that stuff.
Yeah, well,
Just,
I understand why the rules
defense,
work that way.
It's just like, our tank is covered in guys. Let's shimmy it around and try to throw them off. So, I get that. But, like you said, a Rhino charging a Land Raider. It's like, yeah, you're nerfed.
Yeah, something doesn't feel quite right. But we'll see how that gets addressed in the future. Now, as far as potential new lore, I'll admit with, like, the Rise of the Primarch, Gathering Storm, all that kind of stuff, like, I didn't get super well read on it. I skimmed it enough to understand what's going on. But, I mean, they've opened up the door for kind of a lot of new stuff to be happening.
Yeah.
So I've said in the basic level here, I'm wondering if they're trying to draw parallels to the first Great Crusade. That now you've got Rowboat Girly Man going out, and the Imperium's in kind of a bad way with a Warp Storm, which can be, somewhat similar to what happened with the Long Night, I think they called it. Basically, the original collapse of humanity and the planets all getting cut off.
The Age of Darkness?
The Age of Darkness kind of stuff, yeah. With all of that, so we've got a big crazy warp storm going on, and we've got Girly Man going out trying to reunite the Imperium, trying to bring Primaris Marine technology to every chapter. And you got to think, so that's the primary thing. So that, it reminds me of the Emperor going out trying to bring basically his message to the planets. And trying to create an empire again.
Like he was always advancing, like the Marines.
Yeah, so
getting better and better and better.
So him going out and trying to bring science to everybody.
Yeah.
And get some cool technology they didn't have before. But then you've also got you got to hope that he's out there trying to look for his brothers.
Yeah, because supposedly they can all sense each other.
Yeah, they should be able to all sense each other. And we've got the reasons for almost any of the Primarchs to show back up again. Some might be more of a stretch than others. Some, you know what, they're going to have to really put some work in to convince me that certain Primarchs should come back.
Yeah.
But then there's a bunch of other ones that are, they're just out there.
Yeah.
Just going to go find them. We don't know
a
where they're
lot
at.
of their stories just end with, and then he left.
Yeah, then he pieced out.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they're going to set up to see a bunch of different Primarchs come back.
Yeah.
So I hope that's where they're going with the lore. I hope we're going to see some different Primarchs.
The Demon Primarchs are still there.
Well, the Demon Primarchs are still kicking around. The Loyalist Primarchs haven't really been haven't been that active in the past. Well, like when did they all went missing a couple, how soon after the, I was going to say like Russ and all that, he disappeared soon enough after the heresy ended.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking decades, not centuries.
Yeah. So really hoping we're going to see some other cool stuff and some progression of the story. As far as the Emperor sitting on ye old golden throne, there's a bunch of different theories out there. If you guys aren't familiar with them, I always like I think it was the Star Child theory.
Yeah.
That, when the Emperor destroyed Horus, part of his essence was, scattered amongst the warp. And that, he's kind of a shell of his former self, but if they actually kill him off the golden throne, then they can go ahead and he'll be able to, gather all of his essence back from the warp and recreate himself, if you will.
Yeah, because he still has like this tether to the real world.
Yeah, he's still exactly right. So he's trapped in his body, kind of thing. And I'm curious to see because I thought that they might have been going down that route with the whole cipher thing.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't familiar, like I'm not going to get into the whole theory of all this different stuff, but check it out online, the Star Child theory. I want to see them go that route, and I want to see the Emperor get kicked off the throne one way or another, and then what happens.
Yeah. As for me, for the fluff, I'm loving it. I just love it. The whole warp storm rift thing and everything's just like, what's going on? Nobody knows anything. I love it.
Yeah, I like where they're at with it right now. So again, I wait to see. And the thing is, usually I like to get all my lore kind of all at once, so I kind of wait a while, then I'll read up on a ton of it.
Yeah.
So I know they've got 1 or 2 novels out right now talking about some of this stuff, but I don't have the time to get around to it, and I want to wait for them to get a couple, because I'll binge read like 3 novels in a week just to kind of figure out what's up. All right, continuing on. Also, if given the chance, would you swap jobs with each other for a day/week? Lee can do bat reps, and Josh can paint minis in the dungeon.
No.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Next paragraph.
Yeah, because you have no interest in like hosting your own bat reps or doing your own content, and I don't like painting. It's no fun. It's for those basement folk.
That's why we'd work as a team.
And that is why we work so well off each other. Because when Lee wants to do anything on video, I can help him out, and when I got to get stuff painted, he can help me out. And I mean, obviously, like Lee's here in front of the camera answering questions. So he's contributing, and when I go downstairs, usually what I'll do is instead of paint, I'll assemble.
Yeah.
But
hence assembly boy.
Assembly man. It's the way I look at it too. Like for the most part, like I like to switch my job up and do other stuff too, because I'm doing all the guest bookings and most of the email stuff right now. Not the tech support, but basically everything else. So Justin can focus on tech support. So I think usually you want to you want people to be as versatile as they want to be, but you want to try to have them focus to their strengths. So I've said before with Lee, like, if let's say we each have a project that we need to paint and assemble, it makes more sense for me to assemble both projects while he paints both projects. Yeah. He paints faster, he paints better than me, and assembly is a simple enough job. I can do it fine. Yeah. I'm really
and you can do it while I'm painting.
Right, and you're quicker on assembly because you do it every single day compared to me. But I still am almost as quick as you are on most stuff. Like I can keep up with you just fine. You know, if you get 10 Marines done, I'll get 8 done in around the same time. Like, it's not that big of a difference. So, yeah, it just makes sense. You use your strengths where you've got them. But, yeah, I wouldn't be interested in switching. Not my thing. Finally, Lee, will you be adding Primaris Marines to your Space Marine chapter you had shown us a while back?
Yes, I will. The Lion Claws will be getting reinforcements.
Yeah, they're super cool models.
Yeah.
The Primaris Marines look super duper cool. Thank you guys. Keep up great work, etc. etc. Happy wargaming. Yeah, thank you for the questions. I always do a bad job of saying it. For everybody that takes the time to write questions, big thanks to you guys because, well, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't get this show. And for all those kind of lurkers that don't, post questions, as much as I encourage you to, even post questions or get a hold of me and talk, if it wasn't for people posting questions, we wouldn't get to do the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I encourage everybody to interact. I mean, this is mostly a show focused somewhat at least on our job when it comes with the hobby. So
some personal stuff. I mean,
yeah, there's some personal stuff, but I mean, like, get involved where you're comfortable with this hobby and build a community.
Yep.
There's nothing better than feeling a sense of community, that we can have people come in from all over the world and, feel like they're part of the crew when they come in. We all play the same game. We all love the same game. Community stuff is good and important. We need to see more of that. Yeah,
and even if it's like personal stuff, you can ask. Worst case, we just go, no, I'm not comfortable answering that question.
Well, like I got an email from a fellow the other day. It was like, oh, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you, but I want to, could I come in for a game? And no, like, I'm sorry if you wasted your time reading this. And well, yeah, come in for a game.
How dare you make me do my job?
Exactly. Like, literally, it's what they pay me for. And it's without the support of the community out there, we don't exist.
But I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. If you happen to be watching, I'm not trying to beg on you. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with, shoot me an email.
Yep.
And, hey, I want to come play. Can I come play? When can I come play?
Well.
And, yeah, if you're willing to make the trip in, then we will do our best to accommodate you. Lassie. Almighty Bearded One. With 8th edition, do you think we will finally see the Death Watch take to the field? Yep. Guaranteed. I don't know exactly when. My Death Watch journey was actually pretty close to being complete until they put out the FAQ.
Yep.
And that was garbage. Whatever. Like, people have said, oh, Josh won't knock Games Workshop anymore. Yeah, I will all the time when I do dumb stuff like that stupid FAQ they put out. It was terrible. Dumb.
Tell us how you really feel there, Josh.
Right. And it completely took away any interest from me. But yeah.
I mean, I don't even play them, and I totally agree with you. It's like, they did what?
Yeah, it made no sense. Looking at the rules now, they look super cool. I want to use them. I'm going to have to tweak some of this stuff, but I literally have a box of Marines that are about 90% complete.
Yeah.
And when I say a box full...
Still waiting for shoulder pads, though.
Yeah, I never put it on Facebook because I got mad about the stupid FAQ. Thanks, Games Workshop. But no, you gave me cool new rules, so bonus for that. When I say a box, I don't mean like 10 Marines. I mean... if you guys aren't actually, Lassie, Mac Hawk, was one of the guys that sent in some really amazing looking Death Watch Marines for me. And I got to do I think I got to finish the base on a couple still. But then they're ready to hit the field. But I've got probably another 40, 50 Marines ready to go. And then I've got some other stuff that's mostly painted but not quite done yet. So... yeah, I don't know when, and I think I still want to go with the idea of getting shoulder pads. So far, well, I never put it on Facebook, so I can't really knock anybody for not sending them. But I've got 2 that are actually complete.
I was going to give you one.
Yeah, you're going to give me one. Chris is going to give me one. There's a couple other ones, but I want to get some from viewers. If you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, the Death Watch obviously being from all the different chapters, I wanted to have any viewers, if you have a Space Marine chapter and you want to be part of the Death Watch army I'm making, send me a painted shoulder pad, and we'll throw you in there. Oh. So 2 guys have done it so far. One was David White, and the other guy, I'm not going to say your name because I don't know. I've never actually met you in person. But we've talked back and forth a bunch. So I've got a Black Dragon's shoulder pad that's really cool looking too. So that's actually loads of fun. So I've got the 2 of them. But yeah, once I'm talking to a couple guys actually, there's some local guys that might finish the paint job off for me because I'm still working on the fists and a couple other projects, and I might just kind of toss it to them to finish. If they would be so kind, get them commission done. But yeah, once I figure out exactly what's happening with them, I'm going to throw the Facebook post up and get some shoulder pads and blardy blardy blar. But yeah, we're going to see Death Watch because they look amazing. They got super fun rules. Did I tell you about the rules yet?
No.
Okay, so there's still mixed squads. If you have a Terminator in the squad, then you automatically pass all morale tests.
Okay.
And that's one of the, I haven't seen much of that. I've seen like, oh, you get +1 to your leadership. No, this one just, if he's there, we don't care. We're not going anywhere. We don't care.
We got this
Super
guy.
cool. Yeah, we got this. Look at this guy. He looks awesome. If you have a bike in the squad, your entire squad can fall back and still charge.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a Vanguard vet in the squad, the entire squad can fall back and still shoot.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So mixed squads actually make sense now.
They make a ton of sense.
Like, why would you have a bike in an infantry squad or?
Yeah, before like you could do the stupid like you could jink in front of everybody else and take the saves first, but now that you can pull casualties from wherever, makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
The other cool thing they can do is for every squad you have with a bike in it, you can take a teleport homer.
Okay.
And the way that these work is you actually deploy a little teleport homer in your deployment zone. And at any point in the game, any one of your squads on the table can teleport to that squad if they've got a Terminator with them.
Okay, cool.
So I just teleport out of combat and see you. Peace. Yeah. Oh, I'm on that side of the board and there's an objective over here. I guess I'll just teleport.
Yeah.
So super cool kind of thing. Yeah, they look really, really kind of funky. So at the very least, probably start to see your kill team you sent for me and a couple battle reports supplementing other stuff. But yeah, I won't get the whole army up and running in the next couple months. Once I'm done my Harry Sierra fists to the point that I'm ready to field them. And I'm only like a Land Raider away right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only about a Land Raider away to get them to the point that I'm ready to field them. Then the Death Watch become the next priority. But ideally, if I can get somebody to do the commission work, I will not have to worry about doing it myself. But that is about all we have time for in this video. So again, guys, thank you so much for everybody that has left questions. Remember, next week it is MiniWarGamer Quirk who's going to be answering questions. So if you want to leave questions, again, I know I've been bugging him a bunch, so if you want to spell his name properly, it's actually Q-U-A-R-K, MiniWarGamer Quark. Leave them in the comment section of this video, and he will do his best to answer them for you.
Bad man.
Yeah.
Just like Leroy Brown.
So, other than that, guys, we're going to jump into the vault to continue to answer your questions. So if you're a vault member, click the link below. If you're not a vault member, go ahead, click the link below anyways. Take you to a 7-day free trial. You get to check out the rest of this video as well as the rest of the videos we have in the vault. Everything we do in pairs. Plus, there's some extra vault content, some extra vault-only content. So you get more than twice as much content. That's the record for saying content the most in one sentence, and I've lost my train of thought already. But yeah, check it out, guys. Like I said, 1 week free trial, no obligation if you sign up. Other than that, thanks so much for tuning in. See you in the next video. Keep being awesome, and happy wargaming.